Welcome to Peirce Field at Arlington High School for this MIAA Girls Varsity Soccer game between Reading High School and the Spy Ponders from Arlington. My name is Lewis McCulloch, standing in today for the voice of Arlington Girls Soccer, Phil Ryan. Alongside me in the booth is Jeff Spector. So the teams are getting set. Looks like captains are meeting in the middle. Jeff, I believe we have the starting lineups for both teams. You want to let everybody know who we're going to see to start the game today?
Absolutely. For the Reading Rockets, number 6, Anna Bowen. Number 5, Clara Healy. Number 28, Addison Matthews. Number 27, Adelaide Murdoch. Number 17, Emma Nelson. Number 18, Ava Ackerbloom. Number 16, Annabelle Rapucci. 0, Madison Sexton. Number 9, Jacqueline Szymanski. Number 22, Tess Weaver. And number 12, Lily Weaver.
And just as a note, Reading comes into the game with a record of 1 win, 1 tie, and 3 losses. They have given up 9 goals while scoring 4 so far this season. And now over to you, Jeff, for the starting lineup for the Arlington Spy Ponders.
0-0 and in goal, Mojo Maxwell. Number 1, check that. Number 8, Lucy Breen. Number 5, Dahlia Carr. Number 17, Micah Niles. Number 13, Avery Spector. Number 9 and captain, Izzy Matheson. Number 12 and captain, Hannah Berry. Number 14 and captain, Ella Radoslovich. Number 10, Addie Darling. Number 2, Elise Keneally. Number 1, Misha Zykorie. And just to clarify one thing, number 9, Izzy Matheson, captain.
Thanks, Jeff. Arlington stands with a record of 3 wins, 2 ties, and no losses. Scored 15 goals, conceding only 3 up to this point in the season. I'd also like to thank our ACMi crew and camera operators today, Josh Zykorie and Konstantina Hensitz, who is helping us out all the way from Stoneham High School. Thanks for being here to help us out today. I'd also like to thank Nate Brooks, Racer Soares, and Raj Katyan from ACMi, helping to bring this broadcast to you live today. Jeff, great to see you. It seems like we were just here. Another beautiful day for soccer as we reach the 1/3 mark of the season. Curious to get your thoughts, kind of what you're looking for today as we head into this game against Reading.
I don't know how we're a third of the way through the season, but yeah, we'll take these days because we both know in another month it's going to be about 45, and we're going to have heated vests on. In terms of what to expect, truthfully, I would expect to see something like what we saw on Monday against Burlington. I'd like to see maybe just a slightly quicker start out of the girls. I thought they played really strong in the second half against Burlington. They were passing the ball better. I thought they were moving better. And they were really pressuring the ball all over the field. If they come out like that today, it's possible they could just run Reading right off the field.
So teams have gathered. Looks like both referees are here. Final instructions, just waiting for the final whistle. And I agree, Jeff. I think, Coach Shanna sticking with similar starting lineup today, looking for a fast start. Always tricky to see in games like this where if you look at the records, you look at the score sheets, you would think maybe this is going to be fairly straightforward. You never want to come out with that mentality if you're a player on the field. So we'll look for the energy level and the explosion from the Spy Ponders at the start. Addie Darling screaming to the sideline to get the bench fired up.
She has such a distinctive voice. I was joking with one of the girls on the team the other day that you can hear her no matter where she is, the way she's yelling, communicating. She always stands out.
And we're underway as Zykorie kicks off, pass back to Matheson. And Reading first to control, but only briefly. Hannah Berry knocked to the ground, and that'll be our first foul of the day. And a dangerous spot for Izzy Matheson, straight on. She might like a little more of an angle here, Jeff, but it's definitely within her range, about the 33-yard line.
Be interesting to see if she just tests the goalkeeper right out of the chute.
Shot is up and on frame.
She's testing her.
Goalkeeper doing a nice job using the hands, tapping it up to herself and collecting that one. But I like the thought from Matheson. Go ahead and challenge the goalie early on. Short punt, and Matheson's first to that. Heads it out to Keneally. Pass it all the way back to Niles. Nice pass up by Spector, looking for Zykorie. Goalkeeper doing a nice job to come out and collect that one. Better punt this time for the Reading goalkeeper, although it does bounce over the head. Radosovic first to that. Niles with some fancy footwork finds Matheson, who is dispossessed. Reading on their first attack of the day. Down the sideline. Niles tracks it back. Great job shielding. Straight out of bounds, and that'll be a goal kick. First one for, oh, I believe we actually are getting corner kick called for. Micah Niles looked like she tracked that one all the way out.
Yeah.
Clearly was last off Reading, but referee saw it a different way, so we will get our first corner of the game from this side of the field for Reading. Reading putting 6 into the top of the box, awaiting the corner kick. Not a lot of wind today, either way, Jeff, so long corner in. Zykorie first 2. Unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, headed just over to a Reading player who gently taps it to Maxwell. She'll punt it out, looking for Darling down the sideline. It'll be out of bounds for Arlington's first throw of the game as the Arlington girls cross country team strolls by. Throw up ahead for Zykorie. She's going to get to this. Controls it, crosses it in, looking for Darling. Darling, first
that's a
shot,
goal.
and that's a goal.
Bam.
Right off the bat, beautiful cross from Zykorie, and a one-touch finish from Addie Darling, left-footed. Curled that one right around Reading defender. I don't think the goalkeeper had a good line of sight on that. We're looking at the replay again. Yeah, the goalkeeper was slightly obstructed, but Darling, beautiful one-touch, nice spin on it. Curls that one into the net for the early 1-0 lead to the Spy Ponders.
Love
Just
it.
what you were looking for, Jeff.
Absolutely. Don't give him an inch. I always get ahead of myself in sometimes in games like this where I just expect Arlington to run somebody off the field, and sometimes you get a slow start, you give up an early goal. This is where it's just like, don't give him an inch, pressure the ball everywhere, exert your will, and just put the game out of reach early.
And it's going to go off of a Reading player for Arlington throw. Breen to throw it in.
I will say what I loved about that, though, was it was a really quick throw in. The defense was not back. Misha, pretty much expects the ball is going to go long up the line. And again, really good job controlling it. Got in Darling, and then Darling slots it.
Reading trying to take a little bit of the steam out of the Arlington attack, but Matheson doing a nice job winning it back. Finds Spector, punts it up ahead to Barry. Nice turn for her, and she's going to try to find Keneally on a diagonal through ball. Keneally showing her speed, not quite enough to track that one down, and this will be a Reading goal kick. Like the idea there, though. Quick capture and turn for Hannah Barry, looking for Keneally on the right-hand side. Matheson doing a nice job controlling the center of the field, taking that one back from the Reading midfielder, and Zykorie's going to sprint onto this, try to get it. And that's going to be a goal kick. Good pressure by Zykorie, forcing Reading to at least think about it. So not even 5 minutes into this game, Jeff, and I think we already see the patterns emerging.
Definitely.
Radosovic first to that. Only as far as a Reading player, but quickly closed down by 3 Arlington players. Does a nice job of working it out and continuing the run, but Hannah Barry tracking back and switching it around for the Spy Ponders. Spector now. Doing a good job bringing it all the way up. Couldn't find Zykorie in the middle of the field.
This is another one of those games, too, where I hope Arlington tries to keep changing the field a little bit between trying to use their speed. Be interesting to see if they catch Reading a little bit off guard, if they can just keep switching it back and forth.
And right on cue, switch of fields to Keneally, looking for the overlapping run from Breen. Closed down by Reading. She will go back there. Nice step by the Reading defender, number 6. Poked out of bounds for an Arlington throw. Zykorie down the right-hand side now. Another goal kick. So yeah, one thing, Jeff, to build on that point a little bit, I think the other thing that Arlington could try to do in this game is possess a little more in the middle, just kind of control possession. Reading, played well against Burlington. It felt to me at times it was up and down. We were looking to score a bunch, which is great. You love it, but it's also an opportunity to try.
Take a little bit more time.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a through ball from the 40 or the 35. You can make a couple smaller passes, to the 25, 20, and then see what's there.
And the skills of our 3 senior captains in the midfield, they've got the ball skills to do it. So, yeah. Breen on the throw on the far side. Finds Radoslavich. That's going to nudge off Breen out of bounds for a Reading throw.
The other thing, and again, I've been talking about it mostly as a positive this season, is that, Arlington isn't taking a lot of deep shots, right? Like, they'll do it off the direct kicks, the indirect kicks, whether it's the 30, the 35, a little deeper. But in the flow of play, they're not really uncorking anything from deep, which on the whole I think is good because the number of times they score from there is pretty few and far between. But I'm starting to wonder, too, if a couple times a game, and I heard Coach Mike yelling at one of the players, and by yelling, I mean he was yelling to them, saying, shoot, get it off, because I'm to some extent like anything else, right? You want the defense to respect it, get them to run at you a little bit more, which will open up the ball fakes and the dribble throughs.
Good step by Breen to intercept that pass. She finds Keneally, who finds Zykorie. Looking for Barry in the middle, just a little too far in front. Barry Reading having a hard time clearing. Mathen's gonna be nudged off the ball there. Spector will gather for the Spy Ponders. And the Reading midfielder, I think, just looking to relieve a little pressure, kicks it out of bounds, give everybody a chance to catch their breath here. Be a throw for Arlington and Avery Spector on the left-hand side.
Over the top again. It was too bad because you saw 13 shading over. If 13 wasn't there, I was actually curious if she could get it over the top and hit Darling on the run.
As it is, we'll get about 25 yards of field position, and Avery will do it again. Throw over the top, looking for Darling again. Headed it, but well spotted by the goalkeeper this time. Diving to keep it in bounds. Breen with the header. Finds Radoslavich, back to Breen. Keneally to Breen, working a little two-person game on the right-hand side. Whew. Nice step through by Keneally. Another one.
Take the shot.
Takes a left-footed shot. Nicely spotted by the keeper, but nice little run by Elise Keneally there.
Goalie looks solid.
Yeah, goalie's made a couple nice saves. Again, the one that went in, I felt like she was obstructed by her own player. But good to see Arlington taking shots. Keneally wins that one, finds Zykorie. Misha brings it into the middle, looking for Darling. Lofts it over the top. Headed around. And Reading will push it up ahead. Spector, nice job anticipating that. Intercepts the pass. Switches fields using Dahlia Carr all the way back. Can't quite find Radoslavich in the middle, but she's there to head it. And Reading just, with their first break here, quickly closed down by Dahlia Carr, punched out of bounds. And that was, even there when Reading was looking a little threatening, you got 4 Arlington defenders back and Maxwell eyeing it the whole way. It's going to be tough for them. They're not going to have the numbers on the breaks.
Completely agreed.
Throw in for Reading. Keneally first 2. Nice job finding Barry. She'll touch it back out to Keneally, and Arlington will look to break the other way. A little bit of a heavy touch there for Keneally as she was sprinting down the right-hand side using all of that speed.
Again, and it was late developing, but that was a good example too, right? You had Zykorie up front with 3 defenders basically around her. If she could have seen across the field, she had Darling sprinting all the way up the left side. Tough cross to go, sideline to sideline with it. But the ball's there, the play's there.
Radosovic avoids the tackle from Redding. And nicely done, touches it back to Spector. Good pressure by number 16 for Redding, but Spector doing a nice job to maintain possession. Matheson now surveys. Took maybe a little bit too long to get out of her feet there and dispossessed by Redding. Breen closes it down, and Keneally's going to keep that one in bounds and keep running. Redding tracking back, and will we get a... Nope, thought we were maybe going to get our first corner there, but referee was on the spot. Out of bounds. Off of Arlington, it'll be a Redding goal kick. Summer and the referee are having a little fun game of can I or can't I come on the field. Schedinger's going to have to wait for the referee, who was insistent that she was not there in time. So Hannah Berry will have to play a few more seconds here.
I think Hannah knows she might be coming off next.
Yeah. Hannah's going to get closer to that sideline if possible, but might take a shot first.
Uncorked.
Nice touch, pass to Zykorie, gathers it, lofts it over the top. Goalkeeper diving to her right. And that's what, 4 or 5 saves already for the Redding goalkeeper?
And I'm always curious about just watching the goalie's hands, just seeing how well, how clean they handle it. She's very comfortable back there. I mean, she's not afraid to hit the ground, but everything is very solid in her mitts.
Keneally dispossessed in the middle of the field, but really nothing there for Redding. As Carr to Niles to Spector uses the full width of the back line, and Spector looking for Darling down the left-hand side, and she's got it with that speed. We'll keep it in bounds. Beat one defender, looking to take a shot, and curl that one around right to the goalkeeper.
Yeah, and to your point again, right? When that Arlington back four is just back there and lined up, it's tough sledding. I mean, it's one thing if you can play through them when they have a high line going, but you get the 4 of them lined up back around the 20 or a little further back close to the goalie from there. It's going to be hard for an offense.
Spector passes over to Niles. She looks down the middle, finds a Redding player, but Dahlia Carr's there to clean it up. And Matheson will step in front, and
that's a nice ball.
Long ball. It's going to be a tough run, but Keneally has the speed. I think it's just going to run out of room.
A little too heavy.
And now the referee will allow the substitutions, of which there are 2 for Arlington. Summer Schadinger coming in for Captain Hannah Berry, and Hannah Stern will replace Elise Keneally. And looks like there'll be a little shifting of the top line. Misha Zykorie now on the left. Darling looks like she's going to the right, and Hannah Stern will play up top in the striker position. Ball headed into the middle. Who's going to get there first? Radosovic wins that for the Spy Ponders. Spector, great ball over the top.
Too deep.
But yeah, the goalkeeper for Redding is on top of that. If she wasn't alert to that, Darling was going to get it.
Absolutely.
A short punt with some backspin on it. Matheson's going to get to this. Looking for Zykorie. Stern tries to poke it back to Matheson. Stays on it. And Arlington will maintain possession. Matheson was trying to wind that one up for a cannon shot from deep. Didn't quite get the power she was looking for. As we're 15 minutes into this one. Radosovic first 2. Out to Darling. Addy switches fields, finds Zykorie. Nice touch to get it inside. Beats her defender. Touches off the foot, and that'll be Arlington's first corner of the game, which Matheson will run over to take. So let's see how they're setting up for the corner. Jeff, first one of the game for the Spy Ponders.
Something into the area of uncertainty, perhaps.
Stern and Schadinger in there already.
Good ball.
Oh, Radosovic with the header back out. Nobody there at the spot. Not sure if she was if she meant to go backwards, but if somebody was there at the penalty spot, that would have been a nice play. Darling with a nice move, keep it in bounds, crosses it over the top.
That was a nice looking ball.
Yeah, Reading doing a nice job to win that one, but it was 3 Arlington players hovering, waiting for that one.
I feel like that's what's been missing, you know, through the first 15 minutes. We just haven't gotten a lot of balls into the box to start, right? Like, I think Arlington's kept Reading under some really good pressure, but not directly in the box.
Radosevich controlling it, passing it back to Breen. That'll be out of bounds. Reading throw. Reading quickly dispossessed by the combination of Radosevich and Breen, although they are able to win it back. But Spector's there looking for Stern down the middle. Nice step by Niles. Jeff, we're going to have to make up a new position for what Micah playing. I mean, I know she's listed at center back, but she's playing it like a center back /6.
Yep.
I know Phil or our rules analyst, Luke Ryan, would probably have a good term for that because she steps up so many times to win that and is basically playing as a 4th midfielder / center back.
And it's amazing because she rarely gets it wrong. I mean, it's almost like if she gets it wrong, it's a tie to the ball. But the other 98% of the time, she's there and she's there clean.
Another note, substitution, that is number 20, Eliza McGowan into the game. She gives Ella Radosevich a break. I missed what happened there. Was there
there was a foul on Izzy Matheson into number 27, Adelaide Murdoch for Reading.
All right, Izzy takes care of that with the header. Breen controls and passes out to Darling. Darling looking ahead for Breen. Reading defender doing a nice job playing with her back to the ball.
Nice win.
Breen steals it back and finds Schuttinger. Takes a shot.
Maybe.
Oh, nice weight,
Wow.
height, just maybe a little outside to the right, but great shot there by Summer.
Really well struck. That's, I don't know. I always joke that I'm blind, and I am. From up here, that looked perfect. I had no idea it was going to be wide.
And I will say, after giving up the quick early goal, Reading doing a nice job of staying compact and protecting their goal. Could have easily given up a couple more, but keeping it to 1-0 right now.
Yeah, I think they've more than held their own.
Zykorie off the Reading player. I guess it hit Zykorie on the way out, and it'll be a Reading throw. That one's off Reading, back to Arlington. As Spector will come up to take this one, surveys, looks to see if she has anything into the box, finds Summer, nudges it over. McGowan there, Stern held back a little bit, but not enough to get a call, and the goalkeeper does a nice job of coming out to grab that. Breen heads it to Darling, who heads it over. Reading's able to win that one, but not really do much with it. They get to a lot of the 50-50 balls, Jeff, but they're not connecting passes after that.
No, nice. Thought that was a little bit wider too. I like the idea though.
Yeah, good idea. Looking at a diagonal ball there, looking for Zykorie running through. Darling and Zykorie giving each other thumbs up. Definitely on the same page. Summer and McGowan working it in the midfield. Summer with a nice step there, looking for Darling. She's taken down. Just tripped over the ball, I guess. Oh, Reading was looking for the long ball, couldn't quite get contact on it. Coming together in the middle with Niles, no call. Ball over the top for Darling. She's going to run through this. She finds McGowan, who's bodied off by Reading.
Darling slow to get up.
Yeah, and Darling slow to get up. Looks to be okay. Stern with the steal. Still with Stern.
All the way across.
Finds Misha. Nice job faking that one. Izzy across the box.
Just need
well
someone
done.
on the post.
Kind of one of those shot crosses.
Yep.
Not quite on frame, but
I love where she went with it, though, right? Like, from there, like,
yeah.
I feel like it's going to be nearly impossible to go near corner. So you're going to be counting on some sort of goalie error if you're going to score on the near side. So, you know, put it on the back side and either hope to catch the side net or hope you have a teammate, sprinting to the back post.
And Stern was close. Stern was maybe a yard away from being able to toe that one in.
Yep.
Substitution now, Elise Keneally back into the game, replacing Addie Darling. She looks to be walking off fine, so not too worried about any knock or injury there. Matheson trying to slot that one through to Zykorie, just a little too heavy. As Reading makes a couple substitutions. Quite a bit shorter bench for the Reading team than Arlington, Jeff, something we're used to. And that ball is kept in bounds. Spector coming up. As Summer gathers. She finds McGowan, back to Summer, looking up ahead, and she's got Misha. Zykorie back to Schottinger. Finds Matheson. Izzy strolls through, takes a crack. Tricky one there for the keeper, kind of an in-betweener,
yeah.
You know, full hop and cut in the air. The goalkeeper did a nice job kind of going down to both knees just so she could catch that one in a basket. Green to Niles in the middle of the field. Reading punts that one up, trying to find something in the box. Maxwell calmly comes up to collect the ball. She'll roll it out to Spector. Spector just slightly, yeah, just slightly ahead of Matheson, not by much. McGowan now controls it. Nope. Long ball, looking for Zykorie. She's going to run on it. And just runs out of room. Kicks it off the flag post for a throw. So tough angle here down the near corner with the box kind of blocking us, but throws for Reading. Spector comes up to win that one. She just puts it into the center. Missed hit by Reading, and Keneally's going to get there.
Anything can happen in the area of uncertainty.
Keneally doing a great job making the turn, crosses it in, off of hands. High ball by Stern. And we've got another substitution. Dahlia Bonert into the game, replacing Summer Schottinger, and this will push Micah up into the 6th role officially. Now. And the Dahlias take over as the center backs.
It's funny, there's a lot of times I don't love just like when you see the girls just kick it and it's kicked way high into the air. The one exception I have to it is if you can kick it, like when you get those and you're putting them into the box and you're creating these dangerous, sort of 50-50 opportunities. I like Arlington's chances on those.
So now Niles up a little bit higher on the pitch. She will look to distribute from there. Breen battles on the right-hand side, keeps the ball in bounds. Dispossessed by Reading, and they will try to break, but Arlington just has so many numbers back. Zykorie comes back to collect, tries to turn. Well read by Reading, number 11. Spector steps over to intercept that, touches it out to Matheson. Zykorie will collect it, breaks down the left-hand side, beats the first defender, crosses it over.
Handball. How is that
The referee looked like he put his whistle to his mouth for a second for the handball call, and nothing came. And that'll go out of bounds for a Reading throw.
We're missing our rules official, Luke Ryan, in the box tonight. I'd be very curious to hear the explanation on that from his perspective. Luke, if you're watching, feel free, text us, call. We need a ruling.
Breen heads it to Keneally. Dispossessed by Reading, but Bonert is there. Touches it out to Matheson, who just rolls it forward for Spector. Trying to find a run of Zykorie in the middle, but Niles has it. Nice job keeping possession. Spector lobs it over the top, looking for Cern. McGowan. A little bit more frantic pace, Jeff, in the past few minutes.
Just unsettled.
Green trying to work her way down the sideline, nudged out of bounds, bumped out of bounds, I should say, by Reading, and it'll be a goal kick. Two more substitutions, sorry, Jeff, for Arlington. We've got Vicky Lisa coming in for Izzy Matheson, and Addie Darling replacing Hannah Stern.
In a lot of respects, it kind of reminds me of Monday, the first half Monday against Burlington, where, you know, as Phil, you know, sort of kindly pointed out at halftime to me, Arlington had the better of it, but it just, we weren't doing a lot with it. You know, the field was slanted just like it is today. Certainly nothing dangerous heading towards Mojo and goal against Arlington. But Arlington isn't really putting the ball in super dangerous positions.
Addie Darling tried to change that by firing into the goalkeeper, but not really an Arlington player there to connect with. Reading throw. And the wind is definitely picking up, at least here in the booth. I'm trying to look on the field. It looks like it's going our direction, if anything, so could be something to watch for in the second half. It's going to go out of bounds. Sorry for a Reading throw. I was trying to see if the referee was going to allow substitutions. He did not. And that will roll out of bounds harmlessly for a Reading goal kick as we are approaching 11 minutes left here in the first half. Substitution for Arlington junior Serena Doman in the game, replacing Zykorie for the first time tonight. Great to see the last game where Doman got on the scoreboard for the first time this season. Immediately into the action, putting pressure on Reading. Lisa with the header. McGowan doing a nice job getting to that, looking for Darling. She touches it out. See what she was trying to do there, Jeff, just not quite the right pass for Keneally. Niles with a 360-degree spin and a beautiful pass.
That's a really nice way to
over the top for Keneally. She'll look to cross into the middle.
Hard one to play on the run while it's bouncing. Tough to see her just try to control it maybe for a split second and come back and cross it with your left.
Yeah, tough angle out of bounds for a goal kick. McGowan first to another one. She's doing a good job winning a lot of those 50-50 balls in the middle of the field right now. As Reading will look for something down the left sideline. There's a lot of space there, but the pass is just a little, too far in front. And looks like we have a timeout. Not sure who called that one, Jeff, if that was Reading looking for catching their breath or Coach Shenna looking to kind of reset and re-energize Arlington as things have settled down here. So we got 1-0 Arlington lead, 10:15 left on the clock. While we have a break in the action, I'd just like to remind everyone that this is an ACMi sports production. Numerous Arlington High School sports games and events are filmed by ACMi Sports and made possible by both student and parent volunteers. If you're interested in helping to produce, film, commentate, and/or edit the games, please reach out to us at sports@acmi.tv to find out how you can help out. And we're looking at a replay now, a first and only goal of the game. Beautiful shot by Addie Darling, assist to Misha Zykorie. And Jeff, I don't know if you noticed on the replay if you thought the goalie had a line of sight on or not.
That's exactly what I was thinking. And again, right, like we actually have a really good angle on the replay. I got to be honest. I just don't think she was expecting that quick of a shot, left-footed.
And it had some side spin on it, and
right?
It curved to the right, and Darling hit it, one time, first touch, hard left-handed shot, left-footed shot, beautiful finish. So I'd like to welcome in fans watching from across the great state of Massachusetts, from Amherst. We've got some fans potentially watching from Skidmore today, and I know we've also got our faithful West Coast fans watching in live. We hope you are all having a wonderful afternoon. The field mics are picking up some sirens going by.
Heavy police activity in the town of Arlington.
Breen to throw it in for the Spy Ponders. And we're back underway. Dahlia Carr punches it up ahead for Darling. She's going to put a little pressure on Reading here. McGowan with it into the middle, looking for Niles. Nice two-touch from her. Can't find Keneally on the outside. Dahlia Carr with just another amazing header, stopping the break.
I really don't know if she's missed a header this season.
And we're going to have a foul called there. And that's going to go against Lucy Breen for a Reading free kick. I think Coach Shenna was looking for a foul on Lucy, as in she was fouled. It went the other way. Reading kick headed by Keneally.
A lot of kick and chase right now.
Yeah, a little unconnected. Keneally settles things down. Smart play, back to Dahlia Bonert. Use the full width of the field. She finds Spector. This is better for the Spy Ponders. And Avery, nice touch from Lisa, looking for Doman. And that was a nice little passage of play there for the Spy Ponders, connecting 5, 6, 7 passes there, earning a throw down deep in Reading territory. Spector looking for Doman, bounces high.
Someone's got to get in front.
Reading goalkeeper continues her busy half. That's going to be headed out of bounds off of the Reading player. Nice job by Spector to earn the throw. Substitutions for the Spy Ponders. Henneberry and Ella Rudosovich back into the game, replacing Keneally and McGowan. A little bit of a switch of some positions as Vicky Lisa heads to the forward line.
Handball. Again, no call.
No call on that one. That one was clearly high and off of the arm of the Reading player, but we will play on. There's Niles doing what Niles does in the middle of the field. Arlington dispossessed as Reading breaks a little bit with some slightly better numbers, but Dahlia Carr there just to clean it up. Push it up ahead as Vicky Lisa comes up to try to win that one. And was called for offsides.
Wow.
Luke, we miss you. There's been 3 or 4 calls now that are leaving Jeff and I speechless. It looked, for me, I want to go back and look at that one. It looked like at least 2 of the Reading defenders were way back behind where Vicky was. But that being said, we play on. Darling looking for Lisa running down the right-hand side. Reading doing a nice job keeping it in bounds. And Dahlia Carr over to clean that one up and allow Arlington to get back and settle things down. Radosevich looking for Doman. Kind of an awkward ball there on the bounce. I don't know, Jeff, if you agree. I would say this is the best stretch of play that Reading has had the past, 2-3 minutes of the first half, as they're sort of deepest they've ever been into Arlington territory. Not to say that they're threatening, but they're definitely having a little more success.
Yeah, they are, and credit to them for doing it and starting to turn the game, but it feels just sloppy from Arlington. It's sort of the way I said it before. It just feels like kick and chase. Here and there, they're stringing some passes together when they just slow down and take a beat. But it's, it feels a little frustrating to watch it, sort of like the first half did. But what I'm really curious about is what Coach Mike is going to say to them at halftime, because it feels like pretty much every game this season, the girls have come out very strong to start the second halves of these games. And again, they've played some good first halves for sure. But he's either made a change or says something to them at halftime that gets them come out with a little bit more fire. And I don't know if the early goal just sort of made them think this was going to be easier than it was going to be in reality. But they came out those first couple minutes, and again, it was one great string of play that led to the goal. But they've really been lacking that in the final third.
So substitution for Arlington, Zykorie into the game, replacing Vicky Liza, and another change on the right-hand side, Tessa McCulloch into the game for Lucy Breen. Yeah, Jeff, and I to your point about the timing of the goal, it's almost like they scored too soon,
quickly,
right? Too quickly. McCulloch tracking that back out. It'll be out of bounds for a throw on the far side.
Let's go, Reading!
McCulloch getting taken, tackled in the back, out of bounds again for a Reading throw. Is Reading again doing a nice job pushing further and further into Arlington territory. And that will be out of bounds for Arlington goal kick.
I'm also going to be curious in the second half if Lexi O'Brien finds her way onto the field.
Mojo finds Dahlia Bonert. Hannah Berry battles for that one, pokes it through, finds Radosevich. Battles with the entire Reading midfield, and Micah Niles coming back, trying to secure it. Doman and Niles working together to defend that, forcing Reading back. Nice job from Doman and Radosevich trying to win that one. Reading does maintain possession. Bonert and Spector defending that one into the dangerous spot. Micah Niles there with some important touches. Finds Doman. Passes it to Berry. Berry looks up ahead, just trying to relieve some pressure. Nice job by Reading, kicking it over the top. Dahlia Carr and Tessa McCulloch will just run that one out of bounds. So I did hear before the game, Lexi O'Brien, unavailable for this one, was out sick, so don't think she will be making an appearance on the field today, Jeff. Nothing major, just illness.
Good to hear it. As opposed to there being a knock or
yeah, exactly.
something wrong.
No injury, nothing serious. Oh, Reading Most dangerous opportunity there, crossed in. Mojo still down after being contacted by the Reading forward. I didn't hear a whistle, so I'm not sure if that was.
No, it's funny, you know, the other day we had refs who were apparently, here's a replay coming up.
Oh, and that.
It looked like she got an elbow into her.
Totally, but I don't believe a foul was called because Mojo didn't put that on the ground.
No, you know, the refs we had the other day were missing the little ball in the whistle, so you couldn't hear them. These refs have apparently just swallowed the whistles, and yet they strike me as the kind of guys who we will get a handball called against us at a very inopportune time.
Which the longer this game goes 1-0, the more nervous that's going to make Coach Shannon and the rest of the Spy Ponders. So under 2 minutes here, time kept on the field. Would love to see another late first half goal by the Spy Ponders. Bouncing
There's
ball
the bounce.
Over to Stoneman. Just looking for one more touch. Niles runs up on that one. And again, puts it over the top.
And again, Arlington's
right
getting what they want, right? They're getting the throw in. It's taking the first bounce. It's going over the defender. And this time, at least, it looked like Arlington had a couple girls there to try to play it. But you can't ask for more than that on the throw-in, other than for it to turn into a goal.
Ball headed out of bounds by McCulloch for Reading. Card dispossessed. Reading with an ambitious diagonal pass that Maxwell will let roll all the way out for a goal kick as we near final few seconds. According to our clock, 10 seconds left here in the first half. So potentially the final touch here of the first half as the referee's looking at his watch. And Addie Darling, I think, going to get called for a foul here, giving Reading one final opportunity with a free kick at the 35-yard line is where this one should be placed.
Unbelievable.
And
these guys, man.
We go straight to halftime. So we are really missing our rules analyst, Luke Ryan, because Jeff and I have a hard time staying impartial here.
Like either don't call the foul and go to halftime, or call the foul and let them take the free kick. You can't have it both ways.
That being said, that is the end of the first half as Arlington leads 1-0 on Reading. For Jeff Spector, my name is Lewis McCulloch, and we're going to take a quick break, and we will be back with you for the second half. Welcome back to Peirce Field at Arlington High School for the second half of the game between Arlington High School and Reading. We have a 1-0 lead for Arlington heading into the second half. And Jeff, I will be very interested to see, how Arlington starts. They've generally started pretty well in the second half. Overall, I would say they've been a pretty strong second half team. Probably partly due to their depth, top to bottom, very skilled and deep and strong team. But I think Reading playing with a little confidence, only being down 1-0. Again, we talked about at the beginning of the game, if you look at previous scores and the score sheet, I don't think anybody would have kind of expected the scoreline that we're seeing right now. And all that does, I think, is give the underdog team, if it will, a little bit of hope. And if you start playing with hope, anything can happen.
Absolutely. And we've talked about it a few times earlier in the season, but, this is one of those games where you really want to see that 3-goal differential when it's all said and done. And, at least at the moment, we're certainly not on pace for it. But the goal differential aside, it's really about style of play and the quality of play. And we certainly know Arlington's capable of it. But, if I'm Reading, I want a messy, ugly, physical game because it just muddies the waters a little bit. There's skill on both sides, but Arlington, I would expect, would want to play more in the open, use their speed, use their passing, and create some of those better opportunities in the box, and they're not getting them.
And to your point about a messy game, as Darling runs onto that and forces a kick out of bounds from Reading for a deep Arlington throw, the referees play into that too. If the referees are going to be allowing a little bit more physical play, I'm thinking primarily about the takedown of Mojo at the end of the first half. That plays into Reading's advantage too.
Definitely. And you're not really seeing too much of it from Arlington. I mean, I think Darling might have got called for one. I mean, actually, truthfully, there have been a bunch of them against Arlington, but in terms of actually physical play, it doesn't feel like Arlington's being overly physical. And it would be good to just see them turn up the intensity and, put a body on a body.
Matheson to Zykorie, touch pass through, looking for Darling. Nice idea. Goalkeeper for Reading, again, has had a great game. A ton of saves, and again, making the right decisions about when to come out and when not to. If she didn't come out for that, Darling was going to run onto that for a walk-in goal. Header from Breen. As the chaotic play continues a little bit, Micah Niles collecting that one, finding Radosovic. Keneally down the right-hand side, touches forward, and Ella's going to run on for this one.
She's got Darling on the back.
Crosses it a little too tight, but had Darling running in. It was a great idea, again, from the senior captain, looking for Addie Darling running in the middle. Get a nice save by the Reading keeper. I'll keep saying it. Breen first two. Can't quite find Zykorie, as Dahlia Carr's going to head that one back to Maxwell. And she'll just pick that one up and survey. Long punt looking for Darling. It's going to bounce over the top. Hannaberry battles in the middle. Reading maintains possession briefly as Spector pushes forward.
Oh, great ball.
Nice ball looking for Darling down the left-hand side. She's going to win this. Crosses it to Zykorie. Couldn't get it out of her feet, and Reading's going to kick that away, but only as far as Matheson. A little bit of a heavy touch. As Reading does settle things down. But again, only briefly, as Arlington. Spector will get a throw from the side.
Over.
Long throw over the top, looking for Darling. She's going to punt that one high over the top, looking for Keneally on the backside. Bounce a little too high. I think Elise thought that one was going to come down lower. Keneally keeps it, finds Breen. Back to Keneally. Nice footwork.
Got to move that ball a little quicker.
Out of bounds for an Arlington throw. Keneally quick throw into Zykorie. Looking for the left-hand touch, left-footed touch, finds Hannaberry. A little bit of a scrum in the middle. Again, the ball just not bouncing and finding Arlington feet, but definitely in some dangerous positions for the Spy Ponders. Nicely won by Spector. And she'll look for Darling. Out to Matheson. Touches back to Darling. One touch around the defender. She crosses it in. Header skips. Nicely done. Header by the Reading defender. Skips it all the way out of bounds. I think if the Reading defender doesn't get a header on that, there's real danger because there's two Arlington Spy Ponders right there looking for it. How is this a Reading throw?
That?
Interesting.
And by interesting, we mean very questionable.
Nicely won by Hannah Berry. Back to Dahlia Carr. She'll swing it around to Niles. We'll take the space. Find Darling. Darling looking for Zykorie. Well shielded by Misha. Maintains possession. Trying to get it through to Hannah.
Okay.
And that
Hallelujah.
is. And she's in the box. This
call.
has to be a penalty. The referee is pointing outside of the box, which I cannot understand. He's pointing as if it was right out of sound.
We have a replay.
Look at the replay. She's fully a foot inside of the yellow line.
Oh,
So this will be a direct free kick for Matheson, not a penalty kick. And I would not want to be in the Reading wall at this point with Matheson on the ball here, Jeff, as she lines it up. Clearly going, chips it over the top.
Cute.
I like the idea. Yeah. This goalkeeper definitely aware and able to gather that one in, but I think it might have been Izzy's only chance to get it up over the wall, little chip shot.
I'm telling you, this ref makes it seem like I have 20/20 vision. I mean, he went up to that spot and pointed down to a blade of grass like he actually thought he knew where it was supposed to be.
His vision is so good, he sees blades of grass on an artificial field.
Yeah, I mean, it's truly remarkable.
Dahlia Carr with a beautiful touch up ahead, just a little too far in front of Lucy Breen there. Keneally back helping out on defense, forcing the ball into the middle for Reading.
Trouble.
And Reading's first onto this, chips it across. And Reading looking to start the second half the way they finished the first half, on the front foot.
That was probably the most dangerous play of the game so far for Reading. Nice through ball. I don't know if Avery didn't see it or just had her going in the wrong direction, but she was definitely a half step off.
Nice pass from Radosevic over to Keneally.
Pass?
Past the defender. Finds Zykorie, got the touch on it. Good block. Berry is taken down in the box, no call. Spector up to win this, and Arlington showing a little urgency, which is nice. Spector fires one over the top, and you see what she was trying to do there. You know, Keneally, Zykorie, Radosevic all in the area. Just a little too much heat on that one, and it will be a Reading goal kick.
Can't say enough how much I loved what Zykorie tried to do there. Just a complete redirect, like a pass shot type thing. And again, just pick out your spot, and she had it. Hit a leg, and that's fine, but really well played.
Goal kick is stolen by Darling. Slides under that one. Play on. So the intensity has definitely ramped up on both sides. Good response here from the Spy Ponders. And that's going to be out of bounds for an Arlington throw as we are about 10 minutes into the first half. Or sorry, second half, 10 minutes into the second half. Spector to throw this one. Looking for Keneally and Radosevic in the box. Ball rattles around in a dangerous spot. And we'll rerun that and do it again. Straight hard throw from Spector this time. Radosevic doing a nice job of winning that and maintaining it. She battles with the Reading defender, does a great job spinning it around. Can't beat the second defender, but Spector's up there to keep it in the box, and that will go out of bounds for an Arlington corner kick. So Izzy Matheson over to take this one, and I like I like the pressure being applied by the Spy Ponders here. Would love to see one into a dangerous spot here. Addy on the front post. Maybe Radosovic coming to the back post. Lofted up. Beautiful ball.
Possession.
Goalkeeper with good hands punching that out. Arlington throw.
Oh.
Looking for Hannah Berry. Reading just clears that one out. But Niles, as she's been doing all game, first two, and keeps the ball with Arlington. Spector down the left-hand side by two defenders. Crosses it in.
Nice ball.
Great
a little
hands.
too close to the goalie.
Great hands by the Reading keeper. As any kind of bobble there, and Arlington was ready to pounce.
Smart play by Carr. And I think she should have won the throw-in off that, but I don't know if we're really going to get a signal from the ref. No, just hand it to Reading.
He is calling it. So it took him a while, but he made the right call.
Again, though, perfect example. Like, why are you taking 20 seconds to hold a handout?
Breen with the throw. Keneally dispossessed. Niles first two. And Matheson punts that up ahead, looking for Zykorie. Reading first two that one, but only as far as Hannah Berry. And she'll look to spring Darling down the left-hand side. Great speed. Darling's on this.
Goal.
And right at the Reading keeper. Save of the game for Reading. Easily could have been 2-0 there. Nice.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, nice run by Darling. The keeper, right position and sure hands.
I would take that bet on Darling every day and twice on Sunday.
Yeah, we're going to try to see if we can get a look at a replay of that one. That was a beautiful run forward from Addie Darling. Here it is. Nice pass by Berry. Darling just flies by her defender, right at the keeper. And again, keeper in the exact right position to cut that angle down and with sure hands, because that was hit fairly hard right at her face.
I'm curious if Darling was trying to go higher and try to go bar down, or if she was trying to go far post and just didn't, pull it further across.
And so we've got a corner kick here, first of the half for Reading. Ball lofted in. Deep run from the Reading midfielder. Nicely done by Breen. And Arlington with the high line will force either an offsides or an out of bounds for an Arlington throw.
While they haven't converted, I think these 12 minutes have been much more the quality of play that I think Arlington would have hoped for and expected coming into the game.
Radosovic looking for Zykorie in the middle of the field. Misha runs that down, touches it back to Ella, and Ella's through the first one. Nice touch out to Keneally. And she just couldn't quite get the her hip turn and get on the outside of that ball. She skips it out for a Reading throw, Reading goal kick. Beautiful play there. Misha to Ella, out to Keneally. Just not the finish that Keneally was looking for.
And loved how Ella laid it off, right? Gave her a great ball.
Reading goes short out to the right. But no real pressure being applied by Arlington over that side. But Reading unable to do anything with it. Kicks it straight out of bounds for an Arlington throw.
It's always easier in hindsight, and certainly when you're sitting in the booth not running. But I always question on plays like that where you have numbers going forward. If Keneally can control that and just dribble hard towards the goal, try to draw the defense over, and then lay it back to Radosovic, whether she's around the 8 or the 12, and she almost gets a tap in going to the far side.
Matheson with the long shot. And the one time that the goalkeeper does bobble that one out, Keneally's able to get a shot on it. Unfortunately, can't get that one on frame. again, you know, we talked about it earlier, Jeff. You were commenting on the long shots. Never mind it when it's coming off of Izzy Matheson's foot, because she can hammer it.
Yep.
And that was one that the goalkeeper was not able to secure cleanly the first time through.
Yeah, and Izzy's exactly the player you want. She's been able to convert on those time and again.
Radosevic steals that one, touches it out to Breen. Breen out to Keneally. Keneally to Zykorie. Nice dummy run. Pokes it through. Keneally almost there, but Zykorie stays on it, turns it around. Can't find the cross. And that will be out of bounds for a Reading, no, sorry, for an Arlington throw. Breen finds Keneally, who heads it in the middle. Back to Keneally. This one falls to Matheson. She'll take a shot here,
Maybe.
straight at the goalkeeper. Bounces around,
Oh,
still bouncing
Addie.
around. Darling just mistimed her run, stepping over that one. It's 2 shots now that the Reading goalkeeper has spilled thanks to the power of Izzy Matheson.
I think we might get a look at the replay here as well.
Might have to wait till after the throw. Here it is. Yeah, there it is. Bounced around, and Addie went right. The ball went left. Couple of great opportunities here recently for the Spy Ponders. Lots of subs now for Reading as they freshen up their lines. Hannah Stern into the game, replacing Misha Zykorie up top. As we await the Reading goal kick. Under 25 minutes left here in the second half. Arlington has been doing a better job recently keeping the ball down here, keeping the pressure on Reading. Keneally breaks by the defender, lofts it over the top. Again,
Just got to get it off the line.
yeah, can't quite get that angle right. Right idea though. She had was trying to loft it over the top. Had Addie Darling on the back post. Reading heads that one over. Has a little bit of daylight here on the left-hand side. Cross in, just falls to Breen. She and Carr work together, and Carr will be fouled. Kicked in the leg for her efforts there, and it will be a free kick to the Spy Ponders.
Ref was on top of that one.
Maxwell sends it up quickly, looking for Radosevic. And Reading now switches fields, looking for number 8 on the right-hand side. Spector doing a nice job just running that one all the way out of bounds. Darling with a little bit of a heavy touch, and Reading's able to dispossess and keep some pressure on, and that's going to bounce over the top, but Dahlia Carr, as she does, heads it clear of danger. Niles finds Barry. Nice step back and pass out to Darling on the left-hand side. A little bit of space for her as that defender, I think, has learned that Addie's fast, so she's going to give her a little more room. Looking for Radosevic in the middle, maybe 3 inches too high over Arlington's tallest player.
A little too high, but again, right? Darling just taking her time. Like, you can just tell, like, she is not, there's no panic, there's no stress. And it's not even like, I have to go fast because I'm worried about who's going to come from behind. She's like, it doesn't matter. Bring up whoever you want. Let me figure out where I want the ball to go, and I'm going to pick them out.
Matheson wins that ball. Elise Keneally by her defender. Gets a beautiful
There's
cross
the
in this
ball.
time.
Great ball.
Stern just couldn't quite get it turned for a shot, but that was the right angle for Keneally. Nice header by Niles, down to Barry. Barry to Matheson. Good turn from her, looking for Spector.
Another one.
Spector finds Darling.
Just cut it in.
Deep shot.
Didn't connect on that one.
Reading goalkeeper appears to have gotten her hands back, taking the butter off the gloves. Secure with that one. Reading forces Spectre to just kick that one out of bounds. Nicely done by Barry. Working well with her senior co-captain, Izzy Matheson. Out to Spectre. And she'll fire that down, looking for Darling again. You can see the idea there, just Avery couldn't quite turn on it enough to keep it in bounds. Nice pressure applied by Keneally. She'll win this one. And go by her defender twice. Ball's crossed in. No. Again, tough angle. She couldn't quite turn it back into the playing field. Substitution for the Spy Ponders, number 24, Reem Merchant into the game, replacing Hannah Berry. Ball lofted up, but won by Radosovic, touched to Merchant. She'll spin on it. Looking for the return pass to Radosovic. Keneally battles and wins that. She'll poke it out to Breen. Continues the run. Well stopped by Reading defender. Out of bounds off of Keneally for a Reading throw. Reading playing quickly now.
And again, if you're Reading, I mean, you're down a goal with 20 to go. Like, you're in this game. Takes one play.
Niles out to Spectre. Poked away by Reading twice. But out of bounds for an Arlington throw. Another substitution for the Spy Ponders. Serena Doman returns to the game, replacing Elise Keneally. Ball is headed by Matheson off of a Reading player for another throw-in, so we'll do that one again about 25 yards further down the field. A little bit of a miscommunication there, I think, between thrower and receiver. It looked like Darling and Radosovic were there. Neither one of them kind of broke around for the long throw. Hopefully they get that corrected going forward. Radosovic first too with a nice header. She finds Doman, heads it, and it's going to be out of bounds for an Arlington throw. Breen to take. Bounces that one into the dangerous spot. Stern battles Merchant. And we have our first handball of the game. Called on Arlington. Breen comes up to intercept the free kick. She'll find Doman. Doman to Stern. That's going to be out of bounds for a Reading throw. Reading politely returns the favor and throws it right out of bounds for an Arlington throw. Doman into Merchant. Reem doing a nice job running through a couple defenders. It's going to roll out of bounds for a Reading throw. Another substitution for the Spy Ponders, as Reading was trying to throw early. Misha Zykorie back into the game, replacing Hannah Stern. Out of bounds off green for a Reading throw. So a little bit nervy time here, Jeff, for Arlington, as the game is nobody, I would say, has solid control of it right now. And like you said, it just takes one misstep, misplay to change the fortune. So we'd love to see Arlington get another goal, get a security insurance goal here. Doman steals it but can't find Zykorie on the through ball.
Yeah, to your point, right? They've already played 2 1-1 draws this year. In both those games, goals were scored probably in the last 2 minutes of regulation. You just don't need, this game just shouldn't be coming down to the last couple minutes as a 1-0 game.
Maxwell all the way out to the side of her box to collect that one, and she'll punt it up ahead. Only as far as the Reading player, but Niles is able to pass that forward and find Darling coming back. A little bit of a slip for Addie, but she's able to keep possession. Looking for Merchant there, but Reading now jumping to those 50-50 balls and winning more of them. "15 minutes left in the game. Another example where Reading just a little bit more aggressive.
They've got 5 going forward.
Yeah, I think they've definitely switched their tactics up as the game remained close. They just said, why not? Let's throw some more numbers.
Go for it.
Yeah, let's throw some numbers forward. Doman doing a nice job putting pressure on that. That is going to force an Arlington throw. Nice job by Serena pushing that out off of the Reading player. Green down the line for Doman. She's going to get by her defender here. Touch into the middle, looking to cross. Just a little bit of a
heavy touch.
Too heavy touch, but great idea by Doman there. Half a step away from crossing that into the box. Another substitution for the Spy Ponders. I believe that's Summer Schettinger back into the game, replacing Reem Merchant. Nicely done by the Reading player to avoid the tackle, but pass is only able, is not able to be connected, so that will be an Arlington throw, and Spector will come over to take this one as Arlington throws numbers forward, looking for the second. Darling heads it out to Spector, lost it over the top. Breen heads it into the middle, looking for Zykorie.
Nice run.
She'll run on this. Corner. And looks like the referee is saying that the Reading keeper kept that one inbounds. Nice header through and touch by Zykorie.
We might have a look at the replay here to see.
There's the header from Breen. Zykorie running on top of it. Punted through. Yeah, the keeper kept that right on the line. That was good. Good save. Do you think that was out of bounds?
Yeah. Yep, I do. Then again, I've admitted my eyesight isn't always the best, so maybe it wasn't.
Another chance for the Spy Ponders there, out of bounds for a Reading goal kick. A little bit of heavy touch there, and Summer comes up to win that for Arlington. Looking for Doman out. Just a little bit too heavy out there as well. As Arlington, playing with a little energy, needing to look to control their intensity on some of those passes. And that's going to be an Arlington throw as Breen will come up to take that. Radosevic decides to take it quickly. Summer with a header into the middle. Schettinger gets it again. Reading, again, doing a good job of getting everybody back to stop the Arlington threat. Niles will kick this one all the way back to Maxwell. Punted up ahead, looking for Doman, and will be out of bounds for a Reading throw. We'll redo that one. Another throw for Reading. Sidewinder throw there by number 11. She tries to get some power on that. And that is an interesting style of throw, Jeff. I'm not sure if I've seen that one. Niles boots that up to Zykorie, relieving a little bit of the pressure. She'll find Radoslavich. Nice touch to get by the defender, looking for Darling in the middle. A little bit of time and space. Matheson over the top with a good header to Schottinger. Remains, Addie Darling fighting back, getting tangled up with the Reading player. Arlington's able to maintain possession. Spector finding Radoslavich. Great feat to control that. Back to Matheson. Kicked out of bounds for an Arlington throw. So Spector will look to get this one into Radoslavich, likely. And can't quite get over that Reading defender, who's well positioned to just head that one out.
Yeah, I feel like Reading's doing a good job just getting a little bit further back than they were that first half on those throws.
Schottinger battling with two Reading players in the middle of the field, is able to maintain possession. Radoslavich lofts it over the top. Well grabbed by the Reading keeper. Zykorie with another header. And this one will fall to Darling as she'll line things up and make her run down the left-hand side. Reading doing a nice job staying with her this time, but Darling is able to keep possession, running into the middle of the field, runs into Schottinger, and she'll pass it back to Spector, and we'll reset and try to do that again. Unlucky there for Spector as the ball will roll out of bounds. Out of bounds off of Arlington for another Reading throw. Reading puts that one over the top, and this is the one time where they do have numbers. Carr doing a great job of just slowing down the run and taking an elbow in the back.
Yep, no call.
For her efforts. Referee turned around because why would you watch the play? Header by Darling. Header by Zykorie. Radoslavich maintaining possession, passes it back to Spector. Takes her space, looks into the middle, finds Darling. Nice one touch. And she goes to ground. No call by the referee there.
I'll give that one to the ref. I think that's a really good no call. I think she lost her balance trying to make that turn around her.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Less to be said that I only criticize.
Off of Darling's back. Matheson touches it through two defenders. Looking for Zykorie in the middle of the field. Will come all the way back to the Reading striker. Schottinger doing a nice job with pressure. Niles steps in front, forces an errant pass, and Matheson will gather. And that'll go off Spector for a Reading throw. So more substitutions here as we approach 7 minutes left in the game. Believe Hannah Stern into the game for Addie Darling, who looks to be in a little bit of discomfort on the far side, and Elise Keneally back into the game for Summer Schottinger. Big throw from Spector, and we'll do it again as that was headed out of bounds by the Reading defender. Keneally battling, looking to get around defender. Nice touchback to Stern. Arlington keeping possession. Schottinger now with a little bit of room. She'll fire a shot. Right at the goalkeeper, who again calmly gathers that in, as she has pretty much the entire night. Spector doing a nice job running up on that one and taking all the space. Looking in the middle of the field for Radoslevich or Zykorie. Can't quite find the through ball. Niles to Schottinger. Out to Keneally, slipped a little bit, allowed Reading to get back into play. Zykorie over to help out. Breen to throw. And it'll be another throw even further down as we have approaching 5 minutes left in the game, which means the clock will go to the referees on the field. Out of bounds for a Reading goal kick. Going to be an Arlington throw. Time ticking down for Arlington to get an insurance goal and some much needed goal differential points, which come into play for playoff standings. Zykorie out to Radoslevich, but a little bit too heavy, and Reading's going to track that one down as Reading looks to break. Ambitious pass there from Reading that will go out of bounds. It's going to be an Arlington throw all the way down on the 1 yard line. So Maxwell thought about it for a second and realized she probably should get back in goal rather than throw that one in. Breen wisely comes over to take the throw. Out of bounds off of Arlington head, and it'll be Reading to throw, looking to switch fields, getting in the middle there. Over the top, Reading to run on that with a very dangerous play. Maxwell calmly comes out to collect.
Yeah, and if I'm Arlington, I would not be counting on a call from the ref for an offsides. I would be very careful with a handball. You can't be counting on the ref to make a call at this point.
Radoslevich just dispossessed, but Niles able to secure that one. Radoslevich wins it and looks for a middle pass to Zykorie, not quite there, but Summers able to get it. She'll push ahead. And Reading will try a hopeful ball over the top. Maxwell alert to that. As the scoreboard here is off, unofficially we passed 2 minutes. So about 3 minutes left in the game.
That was really well played by Hannah Stern.
Maxwell calls Niles off. Beautiful pass out from her to Matheson. She'll punt this up ahead.
Just play it.
And now
play
the ball's
through.
going to bounce around. Zykorie runs straight into the goalkeeper.
Keep going. They didn't blow it.
That's going to be out of bounds for Arlington throw, I believe. As, you know, to be fair, this referee doesn't really call fouls on the goalie, as he didn't in the first half and didn't there. Zykorie out to Radoslevich. Touches it through. Takes a shot. Just over the top of the goal. Good attempt by Radoslevich there. Missed that by, I don't know, a couple feet maybe. Well struck ball.
Aside from one that Matheson took earlier that she really struck well, the goalie kind of butterfingered a little bit. That was probably the only other really well struck ball for outside shots from Arlington today.
So we're under 2 minutes left here in the game. Reading playing admirably after going down 1-0 after 2 minutes, Jeff. They've really played their hearts out.
They have, certainly credit.
And we got a foul, I believe, called on an Arlington player in the box, shove in the back.
And it's interesting, right? There've been a couple games at the very least Arlington's played that have been 1-goal games down to the last 2 minutes, and if we're up a goal, we're always talking about, okay, like, let's slow it down, and what's interesting to me in this game is they're up a goal and they're pushing. Like, they want the goal, they need the goal, and they're just not, they haven't been able to capitalize. But in doing so, they leave themselves open to, Reading getting some sort of counter and, creating an unfortunate ending possibly for Arlington.
Ball bounces in a dangerous spot. Zykorie taken down. Reading running up. Maxwell able to punch that out. And Jeff, you almost proved prophetic there with your call. Thankfully, Maxwell alert. Great save by her. And Matheson will come down and nudge that out of bounds and let Arlington get back on defense as we are under 30 seconds here left in the game.
I mean, there's no goalie I've seen in the last 4 years that I would ever say, I'd rather have that goalie than Mojo. And that's why. Like, she's cat quick off her line. She has no fear. But again, Arlington's kind of done this to themselves.
And here we are again, corner kick in the dying moments of the game. And that will be the game. So thankfully, not a similar ending to the Winchester game. Reading is unable to get the late equalizer, and Arlington will hold on for the much-needed 1-0 victory against a feisty Reading team.
You seem speechless.
I'm stunned. I was not the game we were expecting, Jeff. A couple of quick closing thoughts from you before we wrap up here.
Yeah, I'm with you. Hey, a win is a win. Middlesex is a tough league. There is, never going to be like just rollover games, but it's still disappointing. I think the biggest difference between this game and the game on Monday against Burlington, Arlington did a much better job putting the ball into the zone of uncertainty. They were getting the ball into the box, and they were creating opportunities within the box. The opportunities today, they were really coming from wide, and they were trying to shoot from wide. And we talked about it earlier about it would be good to take a few shots from out top. I could argue maybe they took a few too many shots from out top, and they should have been trying to work the ball a little bit more into the box, and they might have had an easier time trying to beat the goalie. But a win's a win, still 1-0. They're still undefeated.
And with that, the Spy Ponders will be back in action next week here at Peirce Field against Woburn. But before that, they will be selling cupcakes at Arlington's Town Day this Saturday. So stop by to support the squad if you can. Thanks again to Josh Zykorie and Konstantina Hetzitz for being our camera operators today. And thanks to the whole ACMi crew for their support. For Jeff Spector, I'm Lewis McCulloch, wishing you a good night.